With the release of DJI's Mini 4, a lot of owners of the Mini 3 are wondering, should I upgrade? Let's talk about that. So as you may know from watching this channel, I love the Mini 3. I honestly think it's the best camera drone of 2023 because it is so lightweight, portable, under 250 grams, great footage. Enter the Mini 4 at the end of 2023. So who should and who shouldn't upgrade to the Mini 4? Well, first of all, the camera specs are very similar on these two. The flight time is very similar. The batteries are actually very similar. The weight is very similar. All of those things tell me that if you're just out shooting video on the weekends, having some fun with it, and you're not really worried about tracking anything, then the Mini 3 is probably worth keeping and holding on to and skipping the Mini 4. The video quality on both of these is great. The photo quality on both of these is great. The ability to shoot both vertically and horizontally with the cameras on both of these is great. Really, there isn't a lot of improvement in those areas on the Mini 4. Where the Mini 4 does get better is in a couple of areas. Number one is active track, the ability to follow a person, a vehicle, somebody on a bike, any of those kind of things. The Mini 4 is probably one of the best drones I've ever seen at that. The Skydio was very impressive, but it kind of flew all over the place. The Mini 4 detects obstacles, follows things really well, and as long as you don't go too fast, can stick with you through a lot of adversity, including branches, buildings, all that kind of thing. It sees them, it goes around them, it figures out a way to keep up with the subject, which is pretty amazing. It doesn't do it perfectly, but it does it as well as I've seen a drone ever do it, including the Skydio. The Mini 3, while it can do some tracking, just doesn't do it as well. It doesn't have the sensors to avoid obstacles that the Mini 4 has, and so the Mini 3 is going to struggle a little bit more if tracking things automatically is one of your objectives. Of course, the Mini 4 has some other minor upgrades like the flight time and the light on the bottom and the ability to have waypoints and some other things in the software that the Mini 3 doesn't currently have. It also has Ocusync 4. Honestly, Ocusync 3 or O3 is so good that I really can't tell the difference, but I have had a situation. I was in a congested area with interference and a large brick wall, and as soon as the drone was behind that brick wall, I lost signal for a little bit. Would that have happened with Ocusync 4? I don't know, but it's supposed to be better. It's supposed to be stronger. It's supposed to give you more range. Now, of course, you always want to keep line of sight on your drone and make sure that you're flying safely, but just that knowledge that you're not going to lose signal, because that's a moment you don't want to ever have, is really great, and Ocusync 4 promises that. But aside from that, the Mini 3 is a very, very solid drone. It's still pretty much the same weight. The batteries are cross-compatible. The flight experience is very similar. If your primary objective is to take great photos and videos, then the Mini 3 is going to do a great job at that. However, if you want to follow things, or you're flying in a very congested area, or you want to have a little bit of extra assurance that you're not going to lose signal, the Mini 4 checks all those boxes. So I would say if you currently have a Mini 3 and you don't do a lot of following and obstacle avoidance, stick with the Mini 3. But if you're going to do something where you're riding a bike, riding a skateboard, running, anything like that where you want the drone to follow you autonomously, upgrade to the Mini 4. One other note too, if you have an original Mavic Mini or a Mini 2, I highly recommend upgrading to one of these two because I imagine the Mini 3 will go on sale pretty soon. But really, for the extra couple of bucks, just go ahead and get the Mini 4 if you're on one of the old Mini platforms. Let me know what you think about the Mini 4 and the possible upgrade from the 3 to the 4. I'd love to hear your opinion. Now, of course, there is just the Mini 3, that's not the Mini 3 Pro, and there's the SE, and there is the Mini 2, and so there's a lot of legacy out there. I'm talking about the Mini 3 Pro and the Mini 4 Pro in this video. I'd love to hear your opinion. Please leave it in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Ready, Set, Drone.